And we have a request to do some work on the low back, so I'll be doing some specific things to address that. But first, let's make sure we have our breath in our body. So let's relax arms by your sides and just keep your focus straight ahead. Try and relax at the base of your neck, soften in between your shoulder blades, and imagine stacking one vertebra on top of the other vertically so that you're not slumped or at a different angle. And then the next time you inhale, turn your palms forward and take the longest, most luxurious inhale you can, lifting your arms up. Maybe the hands touch, maybe they're shoulder distance, maybe the elbows are bent, whatever is comfortable for you. When you exhale, it's like you're pushing the air away. So push down, resist it. Shoulder blades slide down your back, and even try and reach the floor a little bit. So there's some activation in your arm. Let's do that twice more just to get the breath in our body. So inhale and up. Good, moving slowly and smoothly, and exhale. So it's like we're going in slow motion, just slowing down the normal pace of life, of our breath. And we'll do it one more time like this. You might be able to begin to feel more activation in your shoulder joints right away. And your arms are being turned on. Your side body is getting a little longer. And you're beginning to activate your abdominal muscles. So you're supporting the low back, the abdominal muscles. Now we'll add just a little bit to what we just did. We're going to add the head and neck now. So when you inhale this time, now look up. So you're inhaling, looking up and lifting through the spine. And then when you exhale, take your chin to or towards the collarbones and then slide down. So you might get a little bit more space at the back of the neck. Let's do that 2 more times. So inhale up and looking up. Reaching up, lengthening the side body, get a little longer at the top. And then engage the belly, pull the navel back to the spine, lower the chin, and exhale down. And we'll do this just 1 more time. So inhale up. And then exhale down. Decide out of your mouth or your nose, whatever feels a little bit better. All right, a little variation now. Inhale, you're up and look up. Now take your right arm down, so I'll mirror you. So if you go to the chair, your arm, or just in space, and take yourself over to the left. And it can be a small movement. It doesn't have to be big. There's no goal other than your pain-free range of motion. And then inhale that right arm up. Like the inhale, lift your arm like it's filled with helium, and we'll exhale down to the left. Just starting to warm up the spine now. Let's try that 1 more time. Inhaling up, and exhaling over to the left. And you can always put your hand on your shoulder, on the back of the head, or with the elbow bent if this extended arm doesn't feel right to you. And then inhale up. And last time, taking it over to the left. And so we have to really use the abdominal muscles to take ourselves over and bring ourselves back. So now we're starting to activate that. So bringing it up. And then arms down wide. All right, now to work on the low back, what I find to be really helpful is what I call the pelvic clock. And some of you have done this with me before. And it's very slow and methodical, but it just gently, in my experience, just melts the discomfort away. So we'll start out really simply. Your hands are on your thighs. And as always, press down with your hands a little so you sit up a little taller, right? So it's between this and this. Same spine, like we're a slinky and we can pull up a little bit. Now, starting really simply, keep your spine long. We're hinging just at the hips. Just lean forward when you exhale and lean back when you inhale. We'll just try that back and forth a few times. So we're just rocking on those sit bones. So you feel those 2 sit bones underneath you. You're rocking in front of them and then behind them. You can also breathe in a way if my rhythm, if my pace, even my instructions don't feel right in your body, then breathe in a way that makes sense to you. Usually we exhale when we're leaning forward because there's a little pressure in our bellies and we inhale out. All right, now imagine this is a clock. And when we come forward, lift your heart up just a little and pause. And we're going to call this 12 o'clock. You can look up. And then when we push away from our knees, we're going to round back a little this time. So pull your belly in and drop your chin. And we're going to call this 6 o'clock. So that's the clock face. So inhale now into 12. So we're changing the breath a little, lifting up. And then exhale, take it back into 6. Rounding down. So we'll inhale. And you want to find the flowing movement. So there shouldn't be any strain or excessive effort. You're finding the path where your body understands how to do this easily. And just back and forth with your breath. You can be slower or faster than me. You can close your eyes for a little bit. That'll help you feel sensation more. So when you're inhaling, you might feel a little pressure in the low back, but it shouldn't be discomfort. When you exhale, you might feel a stretch across your upper back. Do that one more time. Begin to feel every segment of your spine follow. All right, now with your next inhale, imagine we're a clock, and now we're going to 1 o'clock. So that means you're going to go slightly to the right. And when you exhale, you're going to go to 7 o'clock. So just slightly to the left of center. So we're just introducing these slight little changes in direction. So see if you can find the largest expression that feels comfortable to you. You might lead a little bit with your right shoulder as you inhale up, and you might lead a little with the back of your left shoulder. Finding that little diagonal back and forth. And you want to again find that place each time we change. You want to find the place where it's not excessive strain, where you can find that flow, where your body very easily adapts to it. All right, next time we inhale, we're going to go to 2 o'clock. So we're going to go just a little bit more to the right. We're not sideways yet, it's still a diagonal. And then exhale to 8 o'clock. So it's like we're moving around the dial. So 2 to 8 now. What it feels like to arch your back slightly at the 2 o'clock as you lift up, and then round your back and tuck your chin slightly at 8 o'clock. And if there's any place that feels really sensitive, try to engage the abdominals more or make the motion smaller or a little bit more gentle. Do one more here, 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock. All right, now, the next time you inhale, we're going to 3 o'clock. So you're going straight over to the right, and then 9 o'clock straight over to the left. So you can lift the sit bones up if you like, or you can keep the sit bones grounded and just move from there. Use your hands to press lightly on the knees. And you can look in the direction you're leaning, or you can look in the opposite direction. See what feels right for you. I'm looking in the opposite direction. Do one more here. All right, now, next time you inhale, take your right shoulder to 4 o'clock. So that means you're going to lean back just a little bit. So you have room on your chin. And then we're going to come to 10 o'clock. So your left shoulder comes just a little bit in front of a sideways line. So 4 and 10. 4. The right shoulder is slightly back. Left shoulder is slightly forward. Again, the movement can be just small, or it can include all of your spine and your head. You can lift one sit bone up if that feels good. So just explore for yourself what feels like the movement that provides you with a release and a relief. All right, we're almost there. So now 5 o'clock. So you're almost straight back, but not quite. It's a little to the right. And then 11 o'clock, which is a little to the left of center. So 5 and 11 now. I injured my back years ago, so I have, low back issues come up, and I sit and do this, and it fixes me, at least for the day. All right, and now we're going back. So next time we're going back to 6 o'clock and noon. 6 and noon. Now the second half of the clock face is pretty much what we've already done. So we'll just do a few in each position to bring ourselves around. So the next time you exhale, let's exhale to 7 o'clock. And then inhale to 1. Here we've done this, but it's nice to round it out again. See, maybe it'll feel a little more supple or limber this time. All right, and then let's shift to 8 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So not quite sideways, not up and down. Starting to feel a little bit more movement. Maybe you can shift your rib cage in relation to your pelvis. In that back. And now let's go sideways. So we'll go to 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And a few extra rocks here. It's always a good one. All right, let's go to 10 o'clock, 4. So slight diagonal. I hope the numbers, calling out the numbers is making sense to you all. 10 and 4. You can always make it up if it's not making sense. And then almost there, let's go to 11 o'clock. When we come forward, and 5 o'clock when we go back. So almost up and down, forward and back, but not quite. And now it should feel like we're coming home. So come home to noon and 6 o'clock. And we'll do that a few times. Maybe these movements can be a little bit bigger. So take your time when you come forward and really find that curve in the back and look up. And then take your time to really coil down, pull the navel in. It's like you're tucking your tail under and dropping your chin. All right, now this is how we finish up this series. Oh, wait a minute. So inhale, come forward to noon. And I see. And now I'm going to go around the clock. So this is nice and slow. So just lean to 1 o'clock. And then 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock. So your whole way on the side. 4 o'clock, starting to lean back. 5, 6, you're straight back. 7, 8, 9, 10, we're coming forward. 11, so you can find a little back bend. And 12. I'll do that one more time. I won't count out. So you can close your eyes and just feel your torso sweeping in that smooth circle. And notice each little increment, position, your muscles will speak to you in a slightly different way, slightly different bounds. And then when you come back to noon, come upright for a moment. Close your eyes. Take a big, slow inhale. Fill your whole torso. And then sigh out and exhale. Feel as though you're letting go of all your tension. There's one more little thing to do. Inhale back to noon. But now 11 o'clock. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Abs are working at 6 for sure. 5, 4. Now obliques are working. 3, 2, 1, and 12. And then do that one more time on your own. Trying to describe the largest, smoothest circle you can within your pain-free frame. And then bring it back to center. So then just do a little jiggle Move your back, shoulders, your head, anything that feels good. Just loosen it all up, just shaking it out. And I don't know, Kim, can I get a thumbs up? Did that help at all?
Yes, very much so. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's like there's not a lot of skill involved. It's just being aware and rocking, but somehow just that little bit of movement really helps the relationship of the low back and those muscles. It makes them lengthen and shorten just little bits in little different ways, and it helps to release tension.
It really did help. Thank you so much.
I'm glad. I'm really glad to know that. Wonderful. Thank you. All right.
I had a sore lower back too, and I was benefiting, even though I hadn't made that request. So thank you.
All right. Well, that's great. So now I hope you'll like, we're going to do, I got thumbs up from Frank too. Yay. All right. I'd like to do something for the upper back now. So the upper back, we're going to describe a figure 8. So I'm drawing it in space so you can see what I'm talking about, and watch me do it once because you can't look at me when you're doing it. So let me just show you, and I'll move through it fairly quickly. We'll do it a little bit more slowly, but we'll start with our hands in relation to the back of our head and our elbows together. Now I'm going to draw a figure 8 with my elbows. So just check this out so you know what I mean. So I'll inhale up, and when I get to the top, I'm going to pause and get a little back bend. I'll come over to the left, cross over, go down to the, to the right, or this is the left. I'm doing my left and right confused, sorry. Switch over, come up to the right, and then go over to the left and up, right? So if I did it fast, can you see that I'm drawing a figure 8? Like that. Right? So what we want to do is take advantage of the back bend at the very top and take advantage of the rounded back at the very bottom. So we're going to do it slowly and carefully, and I'll call it out. But this is to get into that space in between your shoulder blades where we can hold a lot of tension. See how this feels. All right, so your hands are behind your back. Bring your elbows really close to your head, so it's like you're clasping your head. When you begin to inhale, take it to the left. Continue to inhale and take it up to the ceiling. And when you get to the top here, just look up at the ceiling and pause. Notice the sensation in your low back. Make sure there's no discomfort and firm your belly here. Now, when you exhale, begin to come over to the right and then draw back through the center line. Now we're going to go over to the left, and now we're going to go down towards the left knee. Glide in between the knees and pause, just a little bit of a round, touch the chin for a moment. And then as you inhale, come over to the right and up. Come across the center, over to the left, and we're going up again. So this is the figure 8 again. So we're at the top of the 8. And now we're going to the right, drawing that top circle. Crossing over to the left, drawing the bottom circles of the figure 8. Crossing over. Your belly must be firm. Pull your belly in as you bring yourself up. And now let's release our arms and relax for just a moment when you're done. We'll wait for everyone. And see if you can take a deep breath into your upper back. And sigh it out. See if maybe a little bit of movement back there. And now to complete it, we're going to do the figure 8 in the opposite direction. So we're going to go to the right, up and around, cross over down to the left and around. Right? So we're going to make that kind of shape with our elbows and our head down. All right? So interlace your fingers.
Okay, baby.
And elbows are by the side of your head. Now we'll go to the right. So inhale up to the right, and now pause at the top. Just look up, draw your elbows close to your head, firm your belly, like you're drawing your navel back towards your spine, but you're lifting your rib cage up away from your hips, so you're lengthening. Now when you exhale, come over to the left. Now we're going to cross across the center. And we'll go down towards the right knee. Glide in between the knees and relax for just a moment. Pull the belly in and round your back. Your next inhale to come over the left knee and up. cross over the center, and then up to the right, and find your back bend at the top again. Now see if you can find your version of a figure eight. I'll let you explore through it, but taking it slowly, mindfully, staying out of any discomfort. And it probably feels like a figure eight more than it looks like a figure eight. You know, and then come back to center when you're done. Now, since we did this kind of, we did a clock and then we did figure eight, let's just do a few circles with our hips, right? So it's a little bit like we did the clock, but a little less formal. So we're just swinging around a few times. Any part of your body that needs it. Now, continue to do it, but imagine it's your heart that's drawing the circle. So when you come forward, let your heart come forward to the sides, and then take your heart back. So it's a little bit, I always have, like, I think, doing a hula hoop. Gotta move a little bit more. And then come back to center. And then really gently we'll change the direction. So you can start out very small, if you like, just small movements right across your sit bones and the base of your pelvis. And then if that feels okay, you can make the motions a little bigger. And then if you like, try moving the rib cage and the heart. So it's a little bit more like a churning as opposed just to a rotate. All right, and one more time on that. And then back. All right. Let's release the arms, shake them out a little bit, and do a few shoulder rolls. So when you inhale, bring your shoulders forward and up, just a little pause, and then really squeeze them as you exhale and take them down. Really squeeze your shoulder blades together. So it's fairly loose coming forward and up. But then as you move back, then squeeze and drag your shoulder blades down your back. So getting the most out of it that we can, a few more times. So a gentle roll forward, and then a squeeze back and down. Making the circles as big as you can, and then pause. Now let's change direction. It'll feel a little different. So take them back and up. Shrugging, and then let them fall forward and down. And try that a few times. Trying to isolate those shoulder joints and get some potential movement there. And you can refine this by trying to keep the base of the neck and the neck relaxed and out of it. It's not easy to do, but trying to do that. And then relax. All right, now take your right shoulder by itself. Take an inhale and then hold your breath. So take an inhale and squeeze your shoulder up and squeeze it in towards your ear and your ear in towards your shoulder, but hold your breath for a moment. And then, and let your shoulder drop and make that sound, or just exhale out of your mouth, whatever feels right. Let's do that 2 more times. So we'll inhale it up and squeeze, 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 hold the breath, and then drop it down. 1 more time, bring it up. Feel your spine getting taller, and then and drop it down. And that's a really nice way of releasing tension that we chronically hold. I certainly do on the side of my neck. So your ligaments don't respond to stretching so much. So just that little snap helps the tension get released. All right. So inhale the left shoulder up. So you're feeling length all along the left side of your body. Hold it in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then drop it down. 2 more times. So bring it up. Hold the breath. Squeeze it in a little bit more. And drop it down. And 1 more time. Up. Squeeze it in. And drop it. All right. So now let's do just a little bit of twisting, but it'll be very gentle twisting. Right? So your right hand, we're just going to very lightly tap the left shoulder. I guess that's, excuse me, left hand tapping the right shoulder, and just taking and looking back gently, and then swing other side. So a really gentle swing. Sometimes this is called empty sleeves. A little bump on your shoulder. That's a reflexology point that helps you release a little tension. Swinging back and forth. Opposite hand, thumbs to opposite shoulder. And if it feels all right, looking left and right over the shoulder. And you might feel your spinal column just making that little rotation like a barber pole right in the center. Now try it a few times where you don't move your head. So your head stays center and your torso moves around you. And then just a few times now, add the head back in. So looking over the shoulder. This is a great way, I think, of reducing tension as well. And then release and bring it back. All right. Let's inhale just the right arm up. Get a little taller here. And then look to the left. Push your hand away. All right, so let's inhale the arm straight up forward and look up. Pause at the top, look to the left, turn your palm out to the right and push it down. Good. We'll do that one more time. So swing the arm up. Look away. And as really as possible, push it down and away. All right, now we're going to look in the same direction as the arm. So inhale that arm up and look up. But now turn the palm and exhale, take it to the right and look to the right. So now you're going to be leaning sideways.
It's okay, baby.
And then bring the arm forward and look up. And then turn to the right and push down. And one more time like that. Bring it forward and up. Turn so you'll feel your whole rib cage pivot. And then exhale and down. All right, now we're going to combine it a little bit. So let's take the arms straight up. But now bend your right elbow and bring your right elbow to your right hip and look down. You can turn the palm up. So you've got a little pause there. Okay? Now inhale that right arm up. And now back and forth between those 2 points. So bend the right elbow, bring it down to the hip and look down. And then use your inhale to sweep that arm up and over. And let's do that one more time. Exhale, right elbow to the right hip. And then inhale, sweep it up and over. Now keep your head to the left as it is. Take your arms straight up and turn the palm away from you. And now exhale. Bring your arm to about a 45-degree angle and pause. And there'll be a point, I usually call it a zinger spot, right where you can move your hand around a little bit to find it. But typically there's a spot where it's like, oh yeah, that's right where your neck wants to be released. So feel as though you're reaching past, like it's something just past your reach. So you're activating that arm and you're letting the crown of the head feel very heavy. Take a really long inhale here. Count to 4 if you can on your own. And then exhale maybe longer than 4. All right, now you're going to take that right hand, bring it over to your left cheek, and push your head back to center. And then release that arm and pause. So the kind of yoga that I practice says that the pause is as important as the pose. So you want to pause here and notice what you feel. So take a big breath into the torso, maybe close your eyes. And as you exhale, can you notice where where the pattern of energy is in your body? And if you're not sure, compare what the right shoulder feels like compared to the left, going inside the shoulder and feeling it. Maybe feel the right ribs compared to the left, the side body, even the front of your body to the back. And just notice if you have any patterns of holding. And maybe when you breathe, if it's easier to breathe in some areas than others. All right, let's do the left arm now. Try and restore some balance here. So we'll start by just swinging the left arm up and look straight ahead initially. Turn the palm away and just push the arm down to the left. Really getting that full range of motion in the shoulder. 2 more times like that. Just looking up, getting a little longer here, right? We can really reach a lot between our sit bones and our fingers. Turning the palm away and pushing down, down, down. Every arc of movement in that shoulder. 1 more time like this, lift it up. Turn the palm and push down. All right, so now we'll add the head. So let's look up as we lift the arm. Pause and look in the opposite direction. So look to the right, turn your palm to the left, and then push that hand down. Come back to center. Inhale up and look up. Look to the right, turn the palm away and push down, down, and down. And we'll do 1 more time like this. Inhale up. Look to the right, palm to the left, and push down, down, and down. All right, now we'll look in the same direction as the arm. So we'll inhale up. We're going to swivel and look to the left, and then we'll push the left arm down and follow it with our eyes. So we'll be leaning over to the left, looking down. And then as you swing the arm forward, bring your spine back to vertical and look up. And use the exhale to take yourself down, down, and down on the left. Inhale, long spine, lift up, look up, firm the belly, pivot to the left, and push down. All right, now we'll add the elbow. So inhale and look up. But now bend the left elbow. Bring the left elbow to the left hip. Turn the palm up and look down at the palm. You've still got that lateral flexion, that sideways lean, but it's a little different. Do 1 more time like this before we add it all together. So look up. And as you exhale, bend that elbow, drive the elbow right towards the hip and look down and over. And now let's add it together. Come back to center. Inflate your lungs as you lift that arm up like it's weightless. Then exhale that elbow over to the hip, the palm. Now when you inhale, swing that arm up like it's filled with helium. It's weightless, and we'll take it over to the right. Feeling that. So both sides of the body, it's like your torso is an accordion. So now we're shortening the left side as you bring that elbow over and lengthening the right side. And then when we inhale up, we'll lengthen the left and compress the right. So the distance between our shoulders and hips is closer on this side. And then we'll take it back to the left. Now the left shoulder is closer to the left hip. And 1 more time, swing it up and over. And then stay over with your head to the right and just take that arm to a diagonal. And you find that place. So right here towards right shoulder, spine is vertical, And you can move your arm in a little figure eight or a circle to find just your right spot. For me, it's a place where suddenly it feels really heavy, like there's a muscle tightness that I have to work through. Reaching with that arm, letting the crown of your head feel heavy, letting your head relax over. And if you can't quite find the right spot, you can always try drawing the chin in a little bit or down a little bit, so a little move, chin, you can use that or little movements of the head to find just that spot to release. And you want to take a long inhale here, so count to 4. And then exhale, try and count to 6. Now bring that hand over to your right cheek and really let your head rest in the weight of that hand. Because we just stretch that neck out, so we want to be careful. So now use your hand to push your head back up to center and relax. All right, let's do some sun salutations now. They're nice because it unifies everything, shoulders. All right, so your arms are by your side, palms forward. On an inhale, rake your fingers through the space, wide hands. Look up as your hands come together or close to each other. When you exhale, you're going to hinge at your hips, wide arms, like a big slow motion swan dive. And then just roll over your lap. Draw your chin a little closer to the collarbone to let the back of the neck get long. You're really hanging here, you're draping. If it doesn't feel good, you always put your hands on your lap or let your arms dangle. You can even hold opposite elbows if that's comfortable. So find a way to take a deep breath down here and feel very relaxed. Now, take an inhale, do a little bit of abdominal work. So inhale halfway up, long back, arms out like an airplane. Pause here. So this is a little bit demanding on the abs. Then exhale and take it down the whole way. And now we're going to inhale the whole way up. If you need to put your hands on your lap, you can. If you don't need that, then take your arms wide and lift the whole way up. And then exhale your hands to your heart. Let's do that one more time. Let's inhale, widen up, lifting up, finding the fullest length of our spine. On your exhale, hinging at the hips, slowly rolling over the lap, bringing yourself down and relaxing your head. So the back of the neck is very long. Take an extra breath down here. You feel as though your spine is like a waterfall, just finding the contours of your lap and relaxing. The next inhale brings you halfway up into that airplane. And then exhale, take it back down. And then inhale the whole way up. And hands to the heart. All right. Let's do a little bit of visualization to conclude the class. So I'm gonna talk you through a visualization, and as always, for some people this comes easy, for some people it doesn't make any sense at all. And you can create a different image in your mind if the one I'm talking about doesn't work, or no images at all if you just prefer to listen to your breath and the movements. Up to you. All right. So start with your hands in front of your heart. And just take a moment to feel a sense of quiet inside of you, a little bit of peace, quiet, and stillness. Feel as though you're no longer revisiting the past. You're not inventing the future. You're here now. Listen to your breath, gathering sensation. Now, the next time you inhale, take it nice and slow and in slow motion. Separate your hands, take them out really wide, and then reach them out to the sides. And feel as though there's energy from your heart the whole way out through your fingertips. And then let your hands drift back a little bit. Now breathe here as you need to. Look up, find a little arch in the spine. Now the next time you exhale, feel as though you're gathering energy and you're bringing it in. Place one hand and then the other over your heart. Like you're bringing energy right into your body. You might even feel it. And now let's inhale. And we're slowly taking that energy and expanding it out through our fingertips. Looking up. Fingers are active. And again, gather that energy. Bring it in one hand and then the other. Now, as you reach out this time, inhale. Imagine that light is coming down through the crown of your head, from the stars, from the heavens, from the sky, and it's filling you with white light. And as you exhale and bring your hands back, imagine your whole body is glowing with white light. Now stay here for a moment, hands on your heart, on your chest. When you inhale, again, white light coming down through the crown of your head. Think of it as divine light or heavenly light or starlight, moonlight. And feel it filling your whole body. If you could see your body like you were floating in the ceiling, your body would be filled with white light. And when you exhale, see how this feels for you. When you exhale, can you imagine light coming out of your eyes, even though your eyes are closed, out of your ears, out of both nostrils, and then glowing right through your skin. Think of it as healing energy, life force that's just glowing out of you. And then inhaling, drawing all that beautiful light from the heavens, life force, prana, and bringing it down and filling up the body. Feeling, nourishing, loving energy. And the next time you exhale, allow it to emit out, shining out through the eyes, through the ears, through the nostrils, through the mouth, through the skin. And a few peaceful breaths here. Feeling that life force in your body. And then gently open your eyes. And the last thing we'll do, so your palms are towards you and your fingers are spread wide. Interlock your thumbs, right? Your thumbs are together and your fingers are wide. This is called Garuda Mudra, which means eagles. Eagle hand gesture. So bring the wings onto your chest. And one at a time, just very lightly tap with the right hand and then the left, right hand and the left. And each time you tap, in your mind's eye, hear the word kindness. Kindness, kindness, kindness. So you're imbuing your subtle body, your energetic body, your soul with a sense of kindness. Sometimes it's very easy for us to be kind to other people and not as easy for us to be kind to ourselves. So we're taking that moment and the peace that we create through our yoga practice, and we're just gently tapping that kindness back into our body. Pause here. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. It's called Anjali Mudra. And pause, and you might actually feel a little radiant energy in your chest, in your arms, maybe in your whole being. Taking this moment to pause, a little self-reflection, a moment to imagine there's a mirror that's looking inward, and you're just gazing at the energy inside of you without judgment. Take this moment to honor yourself, honor your practice. We honor each other for gathering today and practicing our yoga together. The light within me sees and honors the light within you. Namaste.